If you've ever thought, I really need to cut back on the amount of wine I'm drinking in my life, then today's episode is for you. If we haven't met before, my name's Nicole Hernandez, and I'm a board certified hypnotist and one of the wellness experts for the Four Seasons Hotel, New York, downtown. Now, I'm going to be sharing one of the hypnosis audios from a real client session with you. So you'll be able to listen to that soon. But I wanted to prep you for it and to help you understand exactly what you're going to be listening to. So it's important for you to know that many of my clients come to me specifically to work through transitions in their life. And this specific client wanted to work on her relationship to alcohol. And she was finding that due to the various stressors in her life, work, family, taking care of elderly parents, she just didn't have a lot of time for herself. She felt overwhelmed and wine was there. It was easy to pour a glass of wine and to have a glass of wine or a couple of them and to disassociate from the feelings that she was feeling. And she didn't really have any other healthier coping mechanisms or didn't realize that she did. And this is really so common for people. We often reach for the bottle of wine or whatever it might be after a hard day. And look, the reality of it is that we all are getting messaged all the time unconsciously that that's the thing to do. If you watch a TV show, a movie, you go to social media, it's all around you and you're seeing people reach for the bottle. And what we don't often see is the repercussions of making alcohol the habit, of making it our solve for the stress that we're feeling in our lives. We don't see how it can actually create even more problems in our life beyond the initial problem that we first had. And so if you're listening to this right now and you're thinking to yourself, you know, I'm really starting to think about how much I'm consuming and I'm noticing I'm feeling fatigued and I'm noticing that things are actually getting a little harder for me because been drinking alcohol, but I don't know what else to do. Then this is going to be a good audio for you to listen to. So it's important for me to share that as this is a real client session, what you are missing is the first 30 minutes of my session with someone. And that's when I'm getting a lot of information about their lifestyle, I'm understanding their beliefs, and I'm doing some coaching in the very beginning of our session. That's usually about 30 to 40 minutes. And that last 20 or 30 minutes of our session is what you're going to hear today. And that's where I create the metaphors and begin to pull together the pieces that will help this client begin to make that change. Now, there's a couple of ways that we can make changes in our lives, especially when it relates to changing these inner beliefs that we have or the inner thoughts and the habits that result from them. Is that we can have a big emotional break, which a lot of people do. They might have had something that happened to them as a result of drinking, and they're done, right? And other people need to reinforce the change, which is the majority of us. So when she has this audio, she can begin to listen to it until she no longer needs it. And she can also come back for additional sessions if there is something else that she wants to work on. So I want you to keep that in mind if you're listening to it and you find that it does help, but then a couple of days later, you're like, but I want a glass of wine. Come back and listen to this session again because we want to reinforce that change. And if you want a session that is tailored just for you, for your issues or things that you're going through, then know that you can always reach out to me at thetravelinghypnotist.com and we can schedule a consultation. All right, so let's get to this audio. Go ahead and find a nice place where you can lie down, a nice bed or somewhere comfortable. Obviously, you're not going to be driving while you're listening to this, as your eyes are going to be closed and you're going to be fully engaged in it. So when you find that comfortable place, go ahead and continue this video and listen. And I'd like you to bring a sense of comfort right into your eyes. And you can allow that comfort to just allow your eyes to close down. And with your eyes closed, you can begin to relax, becoming more aware of some things than you were before. Noticing the sounds in your room. And you can notice the sound of my voice and the sensations in your hands and your feet. And noticing the images and the thoughts that drift into your mind. Because with your eyes closed now, it becomes easier and easier to become aware of a variety of things that would have otherwise gone overlooked or ignored. Thoughts, feelings, sensations. And that gentle shifting of your awareness as your mind begins to experience that gradual letting go of even the effort it takes to be aware. And you can sense that letting go in your own way. And in this way, you can learn even more than before about your own ability to relax and let go. And your mind can begin to flow towards that place of quietness and calm awareness, as if it was traveling now into a place of effortless relaxation, a place where you can allow events to occur almost by themselves, drifting down, drifting back, drifting upwards and towards the surface of your awareness at times. And I'd like you to allow your unconscious mind to begin to activate, to allow you to fully utilize the power of your imagination. And I'd like you to imagine a beautiful sky. Maybe it's one of those wonderful sunsets in Austin. And you can hear your favorite song playing. And you get the sense that you can just take a nice deep breath and breathe in that good feeling into your body. Inhaling that pure calmness, that pure wonder of what it feels like to be alive. That sense that as you inhale, you're bringing in all of that beautiful calmness into your body. And that sense that when you exhale, that you can let go of any of that old tension or stress that you might have been holding on to before now. And I'd like you to take another deep breath. Just inhaling pure calmness all the way into your belly. As if you were filling up a balloon. And when it feels full, I'd like you to pause for a moment, just holding your breath. And this time, when you exhale, I want you just to really exhale any tension or stress. And as you do this, you'll know that you're now relaxing your body and directing your nervous system to work with you now. It's as if you're aligning your mind with your actions in a way that completely supports you now. And as you continue to breathe deeply on your own in a way that feels just right for you, I'd like you to begin to imagine yourself on a bike in a quiet neighborhood after a storm. And I want you to get the sense that you can see the storm clouds off in the distance as they passed on now. And I'd like you to get the scent of that rain in the air, that kind of cleansing that happens after a good rain. And maybe even smelling the wet grass. And there might be a sense now, as you're on your bike, to get home, to find comfort. And I want you to notice that there's two ways home. There's a very obvious way, the paved path that you know will get you home. It'll probably take you a little longer than you'd like. And the other way is a shortcut through the field. And it seems at that moment that it's the quickest way to reach your destination. It's a very tempting path to take. And as you start to ride through the field, I'd like you to get the sense now that the wheels of your bike begin to cut through the mud and the grass and the twigs. And at first, it feels like a faster route. But as you continue to pedal on, I want you to get the sense now that that bike becomes heavier and heavier and more difficult to pedal because the mud and the grass and the twigs accumulate in the spokes and the tires. And it slows down your progress. And it's kind of the same way that using wine to cope as a mechanism for relieving stress perhaps initially felt like the easiest and quickest way to feel better. It was just like that shortcut through the field. However, along the way, you realized that that shortcut was actually making the journey much more challenging, and it was slowing you down, and it was fatiguing you. So I'd like you just to take a moment now to feel the weight of all that, to get a sense of how that wine was hindering you, your ability to move forward smoothly, and how wine actually became an additional obstacle, making it harder to navigate through these life challenges. But you're in a different place now, in a different mindset now. Now I want you to see over to one side, that sidewalk, that paved path. And I want you to get the sense of now transitioning over to that smoother path now. Getting a sense now in your body of feeling the relief of that burden lifting. And you can notice now that as you're there pedaling on this paved path, the wheels turn freely, and you can ride with ease towards your destination. I want you to get the sense now that you're supported, really supported, and things are easier for you now. Because as you pedal along the sidewalk, I want you to notice how much faster and more efficiently you can reach home without all of that weight. And the realization draws upon you that relying on wine was the shortcut. But you're now here on a new journey to find comfort and peace within. So I want you to just take a nice deep breath. As you inhale this clarity into your mind, and your unconscious mind can make this deep connection inside of you now, embracing this smoother path you've chosen for true comfort and peace. Because there was a time when you were overwhelmed. There was a time when you kind of felt like you were in a cloud. And in that time, there was someone there for you. And you had this sensation inside of you, like something clicked, something switched. And it was as if you could rinse off and take a shower. As if you could rinse off those old emotions and whatever you'd been carrying along, and just let it go. Just as if someone were riding a bike covered in mud, they could just begin to rinse it off and move forward. And there was a beautiful thing that happened as a result of that time. You began to put all of that energy into your work, winning awards, feeling accomplished, feeling connected, feeling productive, because you chose to thrive. And I want you to also remember a time a time in your life when things were hard in a relationship, and there might have been a sense of giving up, of moving on. But something worked. You saw it through, even through that difficult time. And as you look back, you can see all the lessons you learned. And you can feel proud inside to know that you're giving that relationship your best. And how good and nourishing that feels to you now. Because when you think about it, your life is full of these examples of times when you went through a hard time and you made a switch. You took a new path and you overcame that obstacle. So I'd like you to now think of a time, thinking about a time a week from now, a time when you would normally feel stressed or overwhelmed, a time when that old version of you would have simply just opened a bottle of wine. But in this moment, something inside of you has shifted. And I want you to get that sense of pausing and get a sense that instead of going to that old wine, which just made you feel tired and even more fatigued, I want you to get the sense of stepping into your shower, a steamy, hot shower, and feeling the day, the burdens of the day just wash away. And I don't know exactly what scent of soap you'd use, or if you'd have a beautiful scrub made of sugar. But finding that you can have this shower be most exquisite, a time for you just to be with yourself. And as you notice the water draining down the drain, I want you to imagine and consider that you can let go of the worries of the day, that they can wash down the drain. And I'd like you to see yourself, perhaps 3 months from now, noticing how, as you've stopped drinking wine, things just feel easier. You have more energy. You can imagine yourself looking in the mirror and seeing that your skin looks even brighter. And maybe your clothes feel even better. All because you just chose healthier ways to deal with that old stress. And it's funny that you might even find that some of the things that were so stressful before are actually no longer issues for you. Now I want you to get a sense now of all the small ways and the small signs that you know and that you'll soon to know. that are an indication that you're in control, that you're nourishing yourself, that you're choosing to give yourself more of what you really need for yourself, for your children, for your mother, for your husband. And from this moment on, you'll be unable to drink more than a glass of wine, because you'll notice that you no longer choose to feel exhaustion. And you know anything beyond that glass of wine would just make you feel more stressed. And day by day, you can choose to listen to music and read a great book. And you can feel calmer and more in control of your daily life. And you can even get the sense that your mind is becoming clearer and more aware. Because you are the kind of person who can trust herself. And that self-reliance is an innate ability, an innate quality that makes you you. And I want you to find that your self-confidence and your self-reliance and your self-acceptance allow you to feel more capable now and moving forward. And I wonder what other ways you'll find in your life to support you. I'd like you now just take a nice deep breath into your body, getting this sense that things have shifted for you because you've chosen a new path. And things just keep getting easier and easier for you as you continue to move forward. Breathing nice and deeply into your body now, giving yourself more of exactly what you need. And as you breathe out, just coming back into your space, beginning to open your eyes, and coming back to be present here in your room now. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, listening to this session. And I hope that if this is something that you have been struggling with in the past, that this session was helpful for you. If you know somebody that could use a little bit of extra support, then I would encourage you to share this video with them. Be that friend who offers a resource and something valuable in someone else's life. And if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a little like, and I thank you for your support. Until next time, my name is Nicole Hernandez, the Traveling Hypnotist.